Hello, everyone, and welcome to D&D News. I am here. I'm Greg Tito. I am very excited for the return of the Waffle Crew. Dice Camera action will be starting at 4 p.m. Pacific time. That's in about 27 minutes for those of you counting at home. Chris is actually speaking to the Waffle Crew right now, and that's what I'm looking at as I'm looking at you, so it's slightly distracting, but he's showing them all of the modules he's threatening them to throw at them, which is kind of amazing. So, yeah, Jared and Holly are on board talking to Chris. They like to do their warm-ups ahead of time. Hello, everyone in Twitch land. How are you guys doing? You're all very nice. Hello, Ashenborn. Hello, Zebra Fish Cat. Oh, hey, Hanselman. How are you doing, sir? Good to see you. Not in Providence, Rhode Island, and instead over the interwaves. You're all good people. And no, you don't have to apologize. The Dragon Friends, they don't need to say sorry, Greg, for everything they do. But I like the joke, so keep it up as much as possible. So yeah, this is Dungeons and Dragons news. For those of you who don't know, I come on a half hour before Dice Camera action and let you know what's happening in the world. And as always, a warm up in a way for those of you who are excited for that show. So, gosh, there's so much going on that I have this handy dandy list that Pelham makes for us. But the big thing I think everyone should know is twofold. One is Tomb of Annihilation is out right now, everywhere. You can get it in your game store. You can get it online. You can get it all over the world. You can get it in Roll20. You can get it in Fantasy Grounds. You can even get it in D&D Beyond. So go check it out. It's a fun story. We've been definitely talking about it a lot. You travel into the jungles of Chult. You encounter manner of creatures such as Batiri goblins, dinosaurs, zombie dinosaurs, or dinosaurs with zombies coming out of their mouths, as well as Aarakocra, Yuan Ti, all in trying to discover what is going on with the death curse that is afflicting people who have been raised from the dead in the Forgotten Realms. It's not good for a lot of folks. Quick, spoiler alert out there. We introduced this at the Stream of Annihilation in June, and it's been really satisfying for me to have it actually come out now and have everybody start to play with it. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Oh yeah, dude, Aduar32. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but you're playing Tomb of Annihilation tonight? That's super cool. What's up, Axis of Anarchy? I like that Boo is up in the thing happening here. That's so great. Well, the Green Rex, you don't have a game store in your country, but now you can order it online, perhaps. Just saying, it's available everywhere out there. Hi, Rob and Laura. How you doing? And everybody here is excited, so that's good to see. In order to celebrate this week of Tomb of Annihilation coming out as wide as it can be, we are running a little thing called Podcasts of Annihilation. So again, we talked about it during the stream. We have video people who stream online on Twitch as a big part of that, YouTube stars. But there's also this audio live play community that is super creative and robust. They almost create radio plays. So they edit down their episodes usually and add sound effects and really kind of heighten up the feel that you're actually in where the adventure is taking place. And they're really great. So there's a bunch of them that we took under our wing. This was by Josh Peralt from the Taking Initiative podcast. He came to me with this idea, and we had them on the Dragon Talk podcast yesterday here on this very channel. Go look at the VOD for that if you're interested in figuring out where we got the idea for all that's going on. But this is day 2. We have Dungeon Rats and Encounter Roleplay. Their episodes drop today on our Dungeon Delve feed. If you listen to podcasts, it's all about the RSS feed. You can get them on iTunes, as well as wherever you get podcasts. I'm still trying to get it on Google Play. It should have been up there a long time ago, and it's my fault. I really screwed. But if you use podcatchers, apps that get podcasts from other things on your phone, you can totally just get it now. And those 2 episodes are on our feed. They're also on those podcast direct feeds, so check those out. Yesterday we had Nerd Poker, which is Brian Posehn's podcast of Force Grey fame, Brian Posehn, as well as a few of his other friends who get together in Los Angeles and play Dungeons & Dragons down there. Lots of fun stuff happened in that episode. As well, the Encounter Roleplay one is really great. It starts in media res, in the middle of something that's already happened, and then they have to remember what happened and how they got to there. So it's a really cool, interesting way to frame the storyline. The Taking Initiative one takes a little paragraph that's in the Tomb of Annihilation adventure and expands it into an hour or two long adventure as they go through this gauntlet in the Port Nyanzaru. Very cool stuff. Also, Dungeon Rats, they got their episode in super hot. I haven't actually listened to it yet, but I'm told it is the thing that Aram Vartian of God's Fall said he's one of the things he's most proud of creating. So I have to listen to it super. I'm going to listen to it on my way home from work tonight. So I'm excited about that. And you can be too. Again, that's on the Dungeon Delve RSS feed. It's called Podcasts of Annihilation. If you want to find out more information about those groups, you can go to dnd.wizards.com/POA. We'll drop one of those links into the chat so you can know what we're talking about, right, Pelham? You got it. And go check it out there. Super fun stuff. And we got more coming later on. Yes, Jared is going to be here for DCA, Samwise K. I'm looking at him right now. He is staring at Chris Perkins and cursing his name about how he's going to turn things around. So very crazy. And yes, Girls Guts Glory is going to be starting on October 1st. That's some fun news that we just found out today from Kim Hidalgo and that crew there. So I'm excited about that. All right, you guys are awesome. On to the next piece of news. Last session, actually just an hour ago, Dragon Plus show with Bart Carroll sat down with some of the creators behind the new game Betrayal at Baldur's Gate. That's coming out on October 6th. It's a board game, and it takes a lot of the tropes of Betrayal at House on the Hill and combines them with a lot of the tropes of Dungeons & Dragons and lets you explore the city of Baldur's Gate one tile at a time. It's super interesting. I really like it. It's kind of like a Dungeons & Dragons light board game. So if you have friends who might like board games, who are interested in trying out Dungeons & Dragons, it's a nice little way to get them in. It's pretty cool. I suggest checking it out, at least watching the video from that. Dragon Plus has been doing a really great job. Bart Carroll is nailing it on the app. I don't know. You guys know what the Dragon Plus app is? That also just came out very recently. Issue 15 has a deep dive into Betrayal at Baldur's Gate, as well as a whole bunch of stuff about other stuff. There's a maps of the month with Chult and TOA, Tomb of Annihilation. There'll be some maps that you can find in that app. Dragon Plus is an app that comes on iOS, Android, as well as on the web at dragonmag.com. And we do have bi-monthly issues, so every 2 months we come out with a new issue that's got lots of content about what's happening in the Dungeons & Dragons world. It's kind of like what I'm doing here now, except in a beautifully designed app magazine form. I love it. Cool. I'm also looking at Danny Hartel, who made the Batiri Goblins for Stream of Annihilation, as well as the costume for Chris Perkins during the PAX West Acquisitions Incorporated game. She is going to be guest starring on today's episode of Dice Camera Action, which I'm super psyched about. I see her costume actually in the background. She might be putting it on before they start, but she's awesome. I just hung out with her in Providence during HasCon, and I'm excited that she's going to now be on the first guest star for season 3 of Dice Camera Action. Got to check that out. She also does an awesome show called Craft Hags on Mondays at 12 noon. You should check that out because it's where she makes the latex or the costumes or create something for you online on the streams. It's good stuff. All right. Speaking of the PAX West live show, you can watch that VOD on twitch.tv/PAX. It was super fun. I mentioned Chris was as a Sararak during the adventure, and he kind of had like a Cheech and Chong kind of feel to him in the beginning, and then he kind of mellowed out. Maybe less so as the adventure went on. It was a lot of fun. Everybody seemed to enjoy it. And Holly Conrad was guest starring on it. So Holly Conrad as Strix was in the Benno Royal Hall with the Penny Arcades Acquisitions Incorporated crew. Her with Pat Rothfuss, Jerry Holkins, and Mike Rahulik, as well as Chris Perkins DMing. It was a lot of fun. You should go check that out. Extra Life is coming up. We have been doing this for the last couple of years. We play Dungeons & Dragons for a long amount of time. November 3rd is when we're going to do it this year. We're going to start with a game with Rudy and Satine from Maze Arcana live from Gamehole Con in Madison, Wisconsin. They're going to broadcast live, as well as from tons of folks from the D&D team, including Chris Perkins and Mike Merles. I think Chris Lindsay might also be in that game too, which is going to be fantastic. And all day long on November 4th, I'll be hosting, kind of being the glue between each of these different games, but we're going to be hosting 12 hours of streaming, all in support of the Seattle Children's Hospitals for Extra Life. So you can donate to the Dungeons & Dragons team. We'll put links in the chat about that as well. Your donations can go towards specific things in the game. So, like, say you want to, as the players are getting ready to start playing their games on Saturday, November 4th, you can say, like, hey, I'll donate $50 for you to be an elf, or $100 for you to be a, chaotic evil bard, or whatever kind of crazy permutation you want. You can donate and have that character be that combination, and or maybe even story concept. I don't know, whatever you want. There's a lot of these pages will have menus for what you can pick and choose. But then also during the games themselves, because it's in Tomb of Annihilation setting, it's going to be very deadly. It's going to be very hard to be raising anybody from the dead or getting healing in the jungles of Chult. So they're going to depend on you. They're going to depend on the audience to donate healing potions or money for boons or any kind of things that will help us and them get through that adventure. So that should be a lot of fun. And if you continue to bring more and more money as the thresholds go up and up, we will preview things from Xanathar's Guide to Everything, which is the player and DM-centric book that's coming out this fall, November 10th in game stores and November 21st out wide. You'll get your first peek from us, from the D&D team, if you donate and get those levels up above those thresholds. Just a quick thing for Xanathar's Guide to Everything, the alternate cover is only available in game stores starting on November 10th. So that is going to be pretty great. I don't know if you guys have seen the Volo's Guide to Everything special edition covers. We only printed a small number of them. Once they're gone, they're gone. They're only in game stores, so you have to go into your game stores and get it on that date. Right now, oh God, I forgot to bring it again. Damn it! But it's a really beautiful cover, gold eyes, lots of Art Deco, also designed by Hydro74, who did the Volo's Guide to Monsters alternate cover. Good stuff. I suggest you check it out. All right. The Dungeon Master's screen Reincarnated is out right now. We took a lot of the stuff we learned from players and Dungeon Masters who were using our old screen that came out when 5th edition launched in 2014. We have made it different and betterer with new art. Well, a different piece of art from Tyler Jacobson, who is also at HasCon. Good job, Tyler, for schlepping it out to Providence, Rhode Island. And he might have met a few of you there. His piece of art with the large red dragon adorns now the new Dungeon screen Reincarnated. How could I get that wrong? It's like so D&D to call that Reincarnated. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Keaton RL. Yes, it's different and betterer. And then all of the people who let us know what is possible. The Dungeon Master screen now has stats and tables and things that are of most use to players at this time. I think the earlier one had ones about backgrounds, which didn't really make as much sense. You're only creating characters once per session, but hopefully the new Dungeon Master screen Reincarnated can have will have all the stuff that you actually need to play in the game and that people are using with 5th edition. Good stuff. Gotta say the convo is kind of filler mode at the moment. What do you mean convo? Do you mean what I'm talking about? I hope not filler. I know, I'm not Pro Jared, but Pro Jared is coming up very soon. 15 minutes is when Dice Camera Action will be starting. I see their lovely faces looking at me right now. They're getting very excited and warming up each other. They haven't seen each other for a few weeks, so it's kind of exciting that they all get together and hang out. I think the only one we're missing right now is Anna, but she's got that crazy Twitch job, so maybe she's out there too. That's okay, no worries. I understand. I am just keeping you guys all nice and warmed up and ready to go for when we're ready to start at 4 p.m. Okay, back to some of the fun stuff that's out there now. D&D Beyond, you can make your character in D&D Beyond right now. It is a great character builder tool. There's also a searchable index for magic items and spells. So if you're in a pinch and you don't have your books in front of you, or you really just want to look up something super fast, D&D Beyond is the place to go. It is a web-based application. You can just log into it online and do it, and anywhere that you're connected to the interwebs, you can get all that stuff. And we have some more information coming out from Adam Bradford and his team there as we're getting more and more development. The thing's been out for, gosh, really only like a month or so, but we've gotten great feedback already, and they have tons of ideas for how to make it betterer for all of you guys out there. So let me know if you have any ideas on how to make D&D possible. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention the Tortles. Thank you, Rob and Laura. The Tortle package is available for download right now from the Dungeon Masters Guild. All of the money that we would get from Wizards of the Coast, a section of that, will go towards our Extra Life page. So if you like Tortles with their anthropomorphic Tortles, they're only mentioned in the Tomb of Annihilation book very briefly, but the Dungeons & Dragons team, including Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford, kind of blew out all the details about Tortles. You can play as a Tortle. You get someone with more information about their ecology and what they're made from, and you can purchase that now on the DungeonMastersGuild.com. And again, all the proceeds that Dungeons & Dragons would get from that sale will all go towards Extra Life and boost that number up higher and hopefully unlock more stuff from Xanathar's Guide to Everything. So go check that out if you like kids, because also those proceeds will all go towards helping kids at the Seattle Children's Hospital. And what's wrong with that? Nothing, I say. Do you guys like Lords of Waterdeep? Have you ever played that board game? It's one of my favorites. It's one of my go-tos for even people who don't play a lot of board games. I'll say, hey, let's play some Lords of Waterdeep. It's a worker placement game where you place your little meeple down on a location in the city of Waterdeep in Faerun, and you get a worker, and then you spend those workers on quests. And all the quests are super ripe with Dungeons & Dragons lore. You'll know characters from the city of Waterdeep as well as just Dungeons & Dragons lore in general. It's a super great board game, and I'm happy to say I've been playing a lot of the Steam version of this game, which just came out a week or so ago. Check it out. It's out on Steam. It's on iOS. It's on Android. It has all of the. There was one expansion that came out with it called Scoundrels of Skullport. That is very interesting because it enters the Xanathar is a big part of Skullport. He runs the Thieves Guild in the underground area beneath the city of Waterdeep, kind of like a shadow lord, if you will, a shadow lord of Waterdeep. So it's really fun. I like playing with people online as well as face-to-face, but it's also just a great single-player board game experience on Steam. The people who made it Playdeck also made the Twilight Struggle board game adaptation, and I love that. So I'm happy to see that this one plays just as well as that one does, and it's super fun. I suggest you check it out. It's on Steam. Lords of Waterdeep. Hey, Obi-Wan Code Nobi, thank you for subscribing on Twitch Prime. That's super awesome. You are a good person. Also, you have a really good name. Just throwing that out there. I like puns, and that's pretty much in there. Are you the Jedi of Code? That seems like it makes sense. What's up, James Hake and Mazmataz? How are you guys doing in there? The Xanathar is your spirit aberration. I don't know if that is really a thing, but let's just say it is. Sure. Yeah, sure, James. You can have it be your spirit aberration. That makes sense. Hi, Ryusion000. Good to see you. I'm telling you the good news. Have you heard the good news? He is risen. And by that, I mean the Xanathar, because he floats towards you with his eye stalks coming at you. It's just part of the thing. What else is going on? Tales from Candlekeep is another board game adaptation. If you guys play video games on Steam, this would be something that would be right up your alley. There is a Tomb of Annihilation adventure system game coming out from our friends at WizKids. Again, it's a board game that you use tiles and you it's basically like Dungeons & Dragons Light in a way, right? So there's a digital version of that game coming out in October, and you can follow them at Tales Candlekeep. They're on Twitter, and they've been doing lots of live streaming of that, as well as really showing it off in the best possible light as much as possible at HasCon. It's really exciting. I actually just got the beta opened up on my thing, so I can't wait to jump into that and see how it plays. And I'll be giving them all of the feedbacks that they could possibly ever want. But you guys should check it out too. Force Grey, Lost City of Omu. I feel like this is I'm burying the lead. This is it's still going on, and it's amazing. Matt Mercer from Critical Role Joe Manganiello, Deborah Ann Wall, Dylan Sprouse, Utkarsh Ambudkar, and Brian Posehn. Some of the biggest names in comedy, as well as in video games, as well as just in Hollywood. I've been watching The Defenders on Netflix kind of slowly over the last couple of weeks, and Deborah Ann Wall is in that. She was also in True Blood, along with her friend Joe Manganiello, who is also on this show. They have been doing great stuff, and I really can't recommend enough. We just did episode 8 yesterday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, and tomorrow, I'm really messing this up, you guys. Next Monday, we'll be doing 2 episodes back to back. So 2 new episodes, probably starting with episode 9 and episode 10 of Force Grey, Lost City of Omu. They've been going through all the same kind of fun adventures that the Waffle Crew is about to get into, as well as all of our awesome streamers have been doing all summer long. So, it's pretty great, and I love just seeing the actors and people in Hollywood getting into Dungeons & Dragons. In fact, I don't know if you noticed this, during the Emmys, Sofia Vergara, who is an actress known for her role in Modern Family, right? She's in Modern Family, isn't that right? Yes, Pelham gave me the thumbs up that I got a thing right. Yes, she mentioned on the red carpet that her husband, Joe Manganiello, plays Dungeons & Dragons, and he's a super uber D&D nerd, and it got picked up all over into the fashion world as well as the entertainment world. Everyone just saying how Sophia likes to set out the miniatures and the food spread for when Joe and all of his friends go down into their little man cave and play. And here's a little hint: Nathan Stewart from Dungeons & Dragons. You've seen him on here. He does fireside chats every Friday. He's played in that man cave, and I've seen pictures of it. So if you want to follow Nathan B. Stewart on Twitter, you might have seen some of the pictures of what Joe Manganiello's, I hate the word man cave, but where he plays Dungeons & Dragons happens. It's a pretty sweet spread, and he's got a lot of minis because he really loves all the miniatures that come out from WizKids. Speaking of which, Icons of the Realms, the Tomb of Annihilation minis have been out for months now, so go check them out in your local game store. They are awesome. There's Sararak, I believe, is in there, as well as Yuan Ti, and a lot of the other monsters that are featured in this here adventure are in there, as well as some that aren't. There's a mono drone, as well as a duo drone, 2 crazy weird creatures you might recognize from the Plane of Mechanus. Yeah. Just throwing that out there. What? There's cool stuff. So if you like miniatures, and I know you do because they're really fun, they're really cool toys, is what some people think, but they're actually just really amazing. So check them out. Good stuff there. Gale Force 9 also makes miniatures. They make larger scale miniatures. I don't want to say this big. They're like this big, but they come unpainted, and you can paint them and miniaturize and customize them yourself, which is pretty darn cool. Hello, Goober Uber. I'm noticing you. Hi, you are noticed. You are a good goober. Jetty just subscribed to the Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for doing that. As well as Rafcopter. What up, bro? Thank you so much for being up in here. Peace. I see Chris Perkins is getting ready to leave his cubicle and come to take over my place here. So I don't have much time. But yeah, thank you for coming here for Jared. We're super excited about this new season of Dice Camera Action. It's going to be pretty awesome. Inez666, what up? How's it going? Pengu D is subscribing. I'm so glad you guys are subscribing. That's one thing I didn't shill about, but I'm glad you guys are doing it because it's only $4.99. You get access to super fun emotes, like some of the ones I'm seeing dropping in here now, like Mr. Chris Perkins with his cute little dog. Milo, I think, even has a few on his own, but you can roll a crit natural 20. You can roll ones. You can have some Waffle Crew, some fun stuff. I think we got to add some Waffle Crew ones. I don't know if we have. Yeah, they're coming. They're on the way. Emmy Tanji, who was just playing Betrayal at Baldur's Gate out on October 6th, was just in here playing them, and she's designing them as we speak. And I see some green flame in there. That's right. That's happening. It's all going to be hyping up. It's good stuff. I'm excited. As soon as I see Chris Perkins open up that door and get in there, he's got his books. He's got piles of books like this big ready to bring in here, which I'm pretty excited to watch this all in real time. It's super fun. I'm getting pretty excited, you guys. Hey, what's up, Krieg's backer? You're making it all happen. Ooh, what's that emote? Is that a turtle? Let's just say that's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle with purple, Donatello things there. I think that's happening. Rojan Quest, what's up? How you doing? Thank you for subscribing. You're a good person. Yes, Waffle Crew and Idle Champions. That would be a great thing. I forgot to talk about Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. So just real quick, that's an awesome game. It's in early access right now on Steam. You can follow them at Idle Champions. It's a super fun game. You send your adventure adventurers out on adventures. They kill monsters, they collect XP, they collect loot, but you don't need to do a lot with them. You just kind of optimize them a little bit, and they get ready to do it. But now, Chris Perkins is here. I'm going to take a leave of absence. I'm sure he's got to do a bio break or 3 before getting ready to go for this amazing thing that's about to happen, which is Dice Camera Action, starting Season 3 in 3 minutes. Let's go with 3 minutes. I'm going to count it down. 1, 2, 3. Now, that's something that my kid would do. He would totally count down, oh man, I think I'm done. I think I've been talking like pretty much nonstop since I got in front of this mic. So I'm going to take a little break and just say, hi guys, I love you, and I'll see you later. Bye.